An evil person always wears a mask. They speak to us with a smile, pretend to be friendly, but somehow, they create a sense of discomfort within us. Have you ever experienced talking to someone who seems very sweet and friendly, yet something feels off? Some of their words or actions leave you feeling uneasy and doubtful. Stoicism teaches us that true evil does not always reveal itself directly. Instead, it gradually manifests through a person's behavior and decisions. Ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus believed that to understand a person's true nature, one should observe their actions rather than just listening to their words. How someone speaks, treats others, and reacts to situations can reveal their real character. Based on this philosophy, today we will discuss 6 red flags or warning signs from a Stoic perspective that indicate the person next to you might truly be of an evil nature. Understanding this is crucial because the quality of our lives depends significantly on the people we surround ourselves with. If we spend time with the wrong individuals, their negativity, dishonesty, and self-centered nature will inevitably affect us. The Stoic philosophers advised that we have the power to choose our surroundings wisely. By identifying toxic or harmful individuals early on, we can protect ourselves from their damaging influence. The goal of this discussion is to make you aware, so that you can recognize these signs and distance yourself from such people. However, this doesn't mean we should judge someone unfairly. Rather, if a person consistently displays these traits, it's a strong indication that we should be cautious and safeguard our mental and moral well-being. One of the core principles of Stoicism is logic and self-control. When you recognize that someone around you is behaving strangely and showing signs of a corrupt nature, you will be able to handle the situation with patience and caution, rather than reacting emotionally. Evil individuals often try to exploit our emotions and weaknesses. But Stoicism teaches us how to keep our minds calm and unwavering so that we don't make impulsive decisions. So today, we will go through 6 crucial warning signs that can help you identify an evil person. By being mindful of these signs, you will be able to determine whom to trust and whom to avoid. Let's begin. Red flag 1. Distorting the truth for personal gain. The Stoic philosophers emphasized that truth is a fundamental part of the natural order, and lies are a rebellion against that order. Yet, there are people who constantly manipulate the truth, not to protect or help others, but to serve their own interests. They bend reality, twist facts, and carefully craft narratives to benefit themselves, often at the expense of others. This is one of the biggest red flags when identifying a potentially evil person. If someone consistently distorts the truth, misrepresents facts, or strategically omits key details to deceive or control others, then you must question their integrity. A person who values honesty will never feel the need to alter the truth for personal advantage. Why do they do it? A person who manipulates the truth does so because they fear reality. They know that if people saw things as they truly are, their schemes and hidden agendas would be exposed. To maintain control, they rewrite the narrative, ensuring that others see only what they want them to see. A toxic boss might twist events to shift blame onto employees. A dishonest partner may fabricate stories to justify their wrongdoings. A manipulative friend might distort situations to gain sympathy or turn others against you. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, advised, "If it is true, accept it, even if it works against you." But for deceptive individuals, the truth is only useful when it serves their desires. When it doesn't, they simply reshape it. The danger of being around a liar. Being surrounded by those who distort reality is dangerous for multiple reasons. One, that you become part of their deception. If you unknowingly believe their lies, you might spread falsehoods without realizing it. 2, they erode your sense of reality. Repeated exposure to misinformation can make you doubt your own judgment. This is called gaslighting, a tactic frequently used by manipulative people to make others question their own perception of events. 3, they will eventually turn against you. If they can lie to others for their gain, they can, and will, lie to you when it benefits them. How a Stoic handles this. Stoicism teaches us that truth is not negotiable. When confronted with dishonesty, a Stoic remains calm, observes logically, and sticks to reality. Here's how you can protect yourself. Always seek evidence. Don't take things at face value, cross-check facts. Pay attention to inconsistencies. Liars often contradict themselves over time. Never engage in their deception. Avoid supporting or enabling their falsehoods. A dishonest person will always find ways to manipulate others, but you don't have to be their victim. Truth is a virtue, and a Stoic embraces it, even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or painful. Final thought. If you notice that someone habitually twists the truth, understand that this is a major red flag. They are not just lying, they are shaping reality to serve themselves, regardless of how it affects others. This is not a person you can trust. It's not always easy to recognize deception immediately, but over time, patterns emerge. And when you see those patterns, do not ignore them. The Stoics teach us that wisdom is not just knowing what is right, but also recognizing who cannot be trusted. Stay aware, trust your instincts, and most importantly, always seek the truth. Red flag 2. Exploiting others' weaknesses. Every human being has weaknesses. Some struggle with low self-confidence, others carry the burden of past traumas, some fear betrayal, while others are emotionally sensitive. But an evil person sees these weaknesses not with empathy, but as weapons to use against you. Their goal is never to help. Instead, they analyze and discover your vulnerabilities, what makes you insecure, what emotionally affects you, and what can break you, and then they attack those exact spots when the time is right. They don't openly harm you at first. Rather, they gradually try to manipulate and control you. Epictetus' wisdom, the wise versus the cunning. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "A wise person corrects the mistakes of others, but a cunning person exploits them." A truly good person will never use someone's weaknesses for personal gain. Instead, they will try to help you overcome them. But an evil, manipulative, and cunning individual will use your mistakes and flaws as tools to dominate and control you. How do they do it? To recognize such individuals, observe their behavioral patterns. 1. That they first gain your trust. They will act like your best friend or a caring individual. They will take an interest in your personal life, asking about your struggles and insecurities. 2. That they store information about your weaknesses and use them later. Perhaps you once told them about your fear of failure or guilt over a past mistake. Later, they will bring up these things strategically to manipulate you. 3. That they try to make you mentally weak. They will make you feel like you are dependent on them, that you cannot survive or succeed without their help. 4. They subtly insult and humiliate you. Instead of direct insults, they will use subtle comments like, "You don't understand these things. Someone as weak as you can't achieve anything. What would you do without me?" 5. That they seek revenge and act deceitfully. If you ever challenge them or try to break free from their influence, they will either try to retaliate or damage your reputation in front of others. Why are these people dangerous? Being around such individuals can be extremely damaging. They slowly weaken your mental strength, make you doubt your judgment, and ultimately try to control your life. This is why Stoicism teaches us to observe the people around us carefully and distinguish between those who genuinely care and those who exploit our weaknesses. How a Stoic handles this situation. Stoicism teaches that understanding your weaknesses is essential, but never allowing them to be used against you. A Stoic identifies these manipulative individuals and takes strategic steps to protect themselves. Turn your weaknesses into strengths. If you lack confidence, work on building it. If you have emotional wounds from the past, learn from them and grow mentally stronger. Be selective about who you trust. Not everyone who acts friendly is trustworthy. Be cautious about sharing personal information with people you don't fully know. Avoid negative and toxic individuals. If someone constantly belittles you or tries to make you feel inadequate, distance yourself from them. The stronger you become, the less they can manipulate you. Do not let negative words affect you. If someone tells you, "You can't do this," Stoicism teaches that you should remain focused on your path and not be influenced by their negativity. Final thought. If you notice someone who constantly searches for others' weaknesses and uses them for personal advantage, understand that they are not trustworthy. This is not just a bad habit, it is a reflection of their true nature. Such people will never truly wish the best for you. Stoicism teaches that a wise person helps correct others' flaws, but a manipulative and evil person uses those flaws as weapons. That is the key difference. So, stay aware, strengthen yourself, and surround yourself with those who genuinely respect and care for you. Red flag 3. Habitual lying and deceptive behavior. In Stoic philosophy, morality and honesty are among the highest virtues. A truly virtuous person values truth because they understand that deception leads only to chaos and suffering. Evil individuals, however, thrive on lies and manipulation, knowing that honest people will never stoop to their level. For them, lying is not just a habit, it is a tool for control. They lie to gain power, avoid responsibility, manipulate emotions, and ensure that they always have the upper hand. Unlike an occasional lie told out of fear or embarrassment, their deception is calculated, deliberate, and continuous. Seneca's warning on lies. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Lying is the greatest insult to one's own character." A person who constantly lies damages not only their relationships but also their own integrity. Over time, their deception becomes their identity, and they no longer distinguish between truth and falsehood. How do they deceive? Habitual liars and deceivers often follow predictable patterns. One, that they lie effortlessly and without remorse. Whether it's small lies or major deceptions, they do it so smoothly that it almost seems natural to them. They can create entirely false narratives and manipulate reality to suit their needs. 2, that they lie even when they don't need to. A dangerous trait of compulsive liars is that they don't just lie when necessary, they lie even when it serves no real purpose. They lie simply because they enjoy deceiving others and testing their ability to manipulate situations. 3, that they use lies to avoid accountability. If caught in a mistake, they will never accept responsibility. Instead, they will create more lies to shift the blame onto someone else. If confronted, they will either deny the truth outright or twist the facts in their favor. For that, they tell half-truths to mislead others. Instead of telling outright lies, they often use carefully crafted half-truths. They will omit key details or present a misleading version of events to shape your perception in a way that benefits them. 5, that they gaslight others into doubting reality. If you catch them lying, they will try to make you question your own memory or perception. They will say things like, "That never happened, you're just imagining things. You're overreacting, I never said that. You're just being too sensitive." 6, they deceive multiple people at once. These individuals don't just lie to 1 or 2 people, they create a web of lies involving different people. They will tell different versions of the same story to different people, making it difficult to verify the truth. Why are these people dangerous? Deception is one of the most destructive weapons of an evil person. A habitual liar can cause significant damage to your life in the following ways. They destroy trust and relationships. Once deception is exposed, relationships suffer irreversible damage. You will always have to second-guess their words and intentions. They can manipulate and exploit you. If you believe their lies, they can easily use you as a pawn in their plans. They may trick you into making bad decisions that benefit them but harm you. They can frame or betray you. A deceitful person will not hesitate to throw you under the bus if it benefits them. They will lie about you to others, ruining your reputation and credibility. How a Stoic handles this situation. Stoicism teaches that truth is the foundation of wisdom and strength. When faced with a habitual liar or deceiver, a Stoic does not react emotionally but instead takes a logical and disciplined approach. Always verify facts before believing anything. Never take their words at face value. Cross-check information and gather evidence. Trust actions over words. See if their behavior aligns with what they say. Don't engage in their web of lies. The best way to deal with a liar is not to play their game. If you start lying or manipulating in response, you become just like them. Set clear boundaries. If someone repeatedly lies and manipulates, distance yourself. A Stoic does not waste energy trying to fix people who refuse to be honest. Remain calm when confronted with deception. A deceitful person expects you to react emotionally so they can manipulate you further. Instead, remain composed and let the truth speak for itself. Final thought. If you find yourself surrounded by someone who lies excessively and manipulates others, take it as a serious warning. This is not just a flaw, it is a dangerous trait that can harm you in ways you may not even realize until it's too late. Stoicism teaches us that honesty is not just a virtue, it is a sign of strength. Evil people rely on deception because they know that good, honest individuals will never use their methods. So, be mindful of the truth, protect your integrity, and never allow a liar to dictate your reality. Red flag 4. Lack of empathy and enjoying others' suffering. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is compassion and understanding. A truly virtuous person does not take joy in the pain of others. Rather, they feel a sense of responsibility to help or, at the very least, not contribute to someone's suffering. But evil individuals behave in the exact opposite way. These people lack empathy and often derive pleasure from others' struggles. Instead of feeling concerned, they enjoy watching people fail, suffer, or feel humiliated. This is not normal behavior. It is a clear sign of a dangerous personality. Marcus Aurelius' warning on cruelty. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "The person who finds joy in the suffering of others will one day suffer the consequences of their own actions." This quote highlights an important truth. Those who take pleasure in harming others eventually face the consequences of their cruelty. How do they show their lack of empathy? A person who lacks empathy and enjoys others' suffering may exhibit the following behaviors. 1. That they laugh at other people's failures and misfortunes. If someone trips and falls, they mock instead of helping. If someone loses their job, they make sarcastic comments instead of showing concern. 2. That they feel no guilt for hurting others. They may insult, manipulate, or betray people without any remorse. If confronted, they dismiss it as a joke or blame the victim for being too sensitive. 3. That they enjoy humiliating others publicly. They put people down in front of others to feel superior. They may spread rumors or expose private details just to see someone suffer. 4. That they show no sympathy for someone in distress. If a friend is struggling with depression or loss, they remain indifferent. Instead of comforting, they say things like, "It's not my problem. Everyone suffers. Just deal with it." 5. That they manipulate people's emotions for amusement. They may intentionally provoke someone just to watch them get upset. They play mind games and enjoy controlling how others feel. 6. That they feel pleasure in others' failures. If someone else succeeds, they feel jealous. But if someone fails, they celebrate it secretly or even openly. Why are these people dangerous? A person who enjoys the suffering of others is not just mean, they are emotionally dangerous. Their behavior can affect you in ways you may not realize at first. They can emotionally drain you. Being around someone who lacks empathy will make you feel unsupported and unappreciated. Over time, their negativity can lower your own sense of self-worth. They will never be there when you need them. In difficult times, instead of helping you, they may even make things worse. If you ever rely on them, they will betray your trust. They may actively work against you. If they find pleasure in seeing others suffer, what's stopping them from making you suffer? If given the chance, they will sabotage you just to see you struggle. How a Stoic handles this situation. A true Stoic understands that kindness and empathy are strengths, not weaknesses. When encountering someone who lacks these qualities, a Stoic takes the following steps. Recognize their true nature. Do not make excuses for their behavior. Accept that they lack empathy and will not change easily. Keep emotional distance. You cannot force someone to be kind or compassionate. The best course of action is to limit your interactions with them. Do not let them influence your own emotions. If they try to provoke or manipulate you, stay calm and do not give them the reaction they want. Surround yourself with compassionate people. Seek out individuals who uplift and support you rather than those who bring negativity. Final thought. If you notice someone who consistently lacks empathy and enjoys seeing others in pain, take it as a serious warning. This is not normal behavior. It is a sign of cruelty and emotional danger. Stoicism teaches that a person's true strength is shown in how they treat others. The strongest people are not those who cause suffering, but those who endure hardships while still choosing kindness. So, be mindful of who you keep around you. And never let someone else's lack of empathy make you lose your own humanity. Red flag 5. Obsession with power and control over others. One of the most defining traits of an evil person is their insatiable thirst for power and control. While natural leaders inspire and uplift others, these individuals seek dominance through fear, manipulation, and control. They don't just want power over their own lives, they want power over you. For them, control is not just a means to an end, it is an addiction. They feel a sense of superiority when others submit to their authority, and they will go to extreme lengths to maintain their dominance. Epictetus' wisdom on power and control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "A wise person learns to control themselves, but a corrupt person seeks to control others." This profound insight reveals a key difference between a virtuous and a manipulative individual. A truly strong person masters their own mind, emotions, and actions, while a power-hungry person focuses on controlling the actions of others. How do they seek power and control? A manipulative and power-hungry person will exhibit the following behaviors. 1. They constantly try to dominate conversations and decisions. They always want the final say, even in matters that don't concern them. They belittle others' opinions to make themselves appear more authoritative. 2. They use intimidation and fear to establish authority. They make others feel small or insecure to assert dominance. They might use threats, either direct or subtle, to manipulate people into obeying them. 3. They isolate people to weaken them. They discourage you from spending time with family or friends, making you dependent on them. They create an environment where they are the sole authority, limiting your outside influences. 4. They manipulate others emotionally. They use guilt, shame, or even fake kindness to maintain control. If confronted, they twist the situation to make themselves appear as the victim. 5. They demand loyalty while showing none in return. They expect absolute obedience but do not reciprocate the same respect or commitment. They will cut off or betray anyone who challenges their authority. 6. They seek power even at the cost of ethics. They justify unethical actions if it strengthens their control. They have no problem deceiving, exploiting, or harming others for personal gain. Why are these people dangerous? The person obsessed with power and control is extremely toxic. The longer they have influence over you, the harder it becomes to break free. Their manipulation can slowly erode your confidence, independence, and ability to think for yourself. They make you doubt your own judgment. By constantly overriding your decisions, they make you feel incapable of making choices. Over time, you start believing that you need their approval for everything. They drain your emotional and mental energy. Always trying to keep them satisfied and avoid their anger exhausts you. You feel like you are walking on eggshells around them. They prevent you from living freely. Their need for control keeps you from pursuing your own interests, dreams, or personal growth. You live according to their rules, not your own values. How a Stoic handles this situation. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from self-mastery, not controlling others. If you encounter someone obsessed with power, a Stoic takes the following steps. Recognize their tactics and refuse to engage. Once you understand how they manipulate, you can resist their influence. Assert your independence. A Stoic does not let others dictate their choices. Stay firm in your beliefs and decisions. Set boundaries and enforce them. Clearly define what you will and won't tolerate. If they constantly try to dominate you, limit your interactions. Surround yourself with supportive individuals. Power-hungry people thrive on isolation. Keep strong relationships with those who respect and support your independence. Do not let their intimidation affect your inner peace. They may try to provoke you, but Stoicism teaches calmness in the face of manipulation. Final thought. If someone is obsessed with power and constantly tries to control you, take it as a serious warning. This is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of deep insecurity and corruption. A truly strong person does not need to dominate others. They focus on mastering themselves. So, do not let anyone dictate your life. Your freedom, your choices, and your mind belong to you. Red flag 6. Refusing to take responsibility and always blaming others. One of the clearest signs of a toxic person is their inability to take responsibility for their actions. Instead of admitting mistakes and learning from them, they always find someone else to blame. A good and virtuous person accepts when they are wrong and makes an effort to correct their mistakes. But an evil or manipulative person will never acknowledge their faults. They see every failure as someone else's fault and believe they are always the victim. Seneca's wisdom on leadership and accountability. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A true leader takes responsibility for mistakes, but the weak blame others." This quote reveals a powerful truth. Responsibility is a sign of strength, while blame shifting is a sign of weakness. Those who constantly point fingers lack the courage to face their own shortcomings. How do they avoid responsibility? A person who never accepts blame and always shifts responsibility may exhibit the following behaviors. 1. They immediately blame others when something goes wrong. Instead of analyzing the situation, their first instinct is to find a scapegoat. They refuse to admit their role in the problem, no matter how obvious it is. 2. They make excuses instead of finding solutions. They always have a reason why they aren't at fault. Bad luck, bad timing, or bad people around them. They never focus on fixing mistakes, only on avoiding responsibility. 3. They twist the narrative to make themselves look innocent. If confronted, they rewrite the story to make it seem like they were the victim. They manipulate others into believing their version of events. 4. They gaslight others into doubting reality. If you try to hold them accountable, they respond with, "That's not what happened. You're remembering it wrong. You're just overreacting." 5. They bring up your past mistakes to shift attention away from theirs. When accused, they dig up old issues to distract from their own faults. They turn the conversation around to make you feel guilty instead. 6. They play the victim in every situation. No matter what happens, they act as if the world is against them. They avoid accountability by portraying themselves as helpless or unfairly treated. Why are these people dangerous? A person who never takes responsibility can be mentally and emotionally exhausting to deal with. Over time, their blame shifting and manipulation can create serious issues in both personal and professional relationships. They create unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. Because they refuse to take ownership of their actions, their problems often escalate instead of getting resolved. They damage trust and relationships. A relationship with someone who never admits mistakes is one-sided and unfair. Eventually, you may feel like you're always the one apologizing, even when it's not your fault. They prevent personal and collective growth. Taking responsibility is the first step toward self-improvement. By avoiding blame, they never learn from their mistakes and repeat the same toxic behaviors. How a Stoic handles this situation. Stoicism teaches us that owning our mistakes is a sign of wisdom and growth. If you are dealing with someone who always shifts blame, a Stoic approach can help. Don't argue with them. They will never accept their mistakes, so don't waste your energy trying to convince them. Set clear boundaries. If they always shift blame onto you, refuse to accept it. Politely but firmly correct the false accusations. Focus on facts, not emotions. Instead of reacting emotionally to their blame shifting, calmly present the truth. Hold them accountable with evidence. If they rewrite history, bring up actual facts or past events to expose their behavior. Limit your interactions if necessary. If they refuse to change, consider distancing yourself. A relationship with a perpetual blame shifter is emotionally draining. Final thought. If someone never takes responsibility for their mistakes and always blames others, take it as a serious warning. This is not just an annoying habit, it is a manipulative trait that can make you doubt yourself, feel guilty for no reason, and carry burdens that aren't yours to bear. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in accountability. A wise and ethical person owns their mistakes, learns from them, and moves forward. But a toxic individual will always find an excuse, a scapegoat, or a way to avoid the truth. So, be mindful of such people, protect your peace, and never let someone else's lack of responsibility become your burden. Conclusion. Stoicism teaches us how to understand human nature and protect ourselves from negative influences. Today, we explored 6 red flags that indicate someone might have a truly malicious nature. To quickly recall them: 1. Distorting the truth. 2. Exploiting others' weaknesses. 3. A tendency to deceive and manipulate. 4. Lack of empathy and enjoyment of others' suffering. 5. An excessive obsession with power and control. 6. Refusing to take responsibility and always blaming others. If you notice one or more of these traits in someone, stay alert and uphold your own values. The core lesson of Stoicism. Stoicism reminds us: do not worry about what you cannot control. Instead, strengthen what you can. By following this principle, we cultivate true wisdom and integrity, allowing us to navigate life with clarity, strength, and inner peace. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.